Good evening. You're watching Rajya Sabha News. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. Trinamool Congress MP Shantanu Sen punished for unruly behaviour, suspended for the remaining part of the monsoon session. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu conveys anguish over disruptions in House, calls snatching and tearing of papers by a member of Parliament an assault on democracy. And the chairman apprises the House of Business Advisory Committee decisions. Government's legislative agenda for the session includes nearly 31 bills and financial items. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu came down heavily on the disruptions in the upper house on Thursday. He described the snatching and tearing of a copy of the statement of Information and Technology Minister of Ashwini Vaishnav on Thursday as an assault on the country's parliamentary democracy. Conveying his anguish over the disruptions in the House, the chairman posed several questions to the members. He also appealed to the members to allow meaningful discussions like the one that took place on the COVID-19 pandemic. He also asked the members of parliament not to be party to lowering the country's standing on the democratic world stage. Listen in.
Honorable members, I raise in deep anguish over the course of events during the first three sittings of this monsoon session in this August House. I am not able to understand why the House is not being allowed to discharge its responsibility as mandated by the Constitution. It is even more difficult to understand why the people of our country are being denied their due from the highest legislature of our country in the hour of stress. The moot question is, who would benefit from a dysfunctional parliament? Certainly not the country and its people. I am not sure if those who are behind the disruptions would benefit from the crippling of parliament. In the meeting of the leaders chaired by me on 17th of this month, all sections of the House expressed a keen desire to have a productive session and even sought each other's cooperation in this regard. Happy over such noble intentions, I have urged the leaders to walk their talk by enabling smooth functioning of the House. But the course of events in the last few days brought out the gap between the noble intention and the real actions. It is really despairing. The only business that could be transacted so far was 4-hour discussion on COVID-19 issues and the hour-long reply by the concerned minister. Since the discussion could take place, the leaders and members could place on record their views and concerns over the management of the pandemic, besides highlighting the shortcomings and suggesting a way forward. There lies the beauty of having such a discussion. Why not more of them in this House? The people at large also appreciated the discussion in Rajya Sabha as far as the COVID subject is concerned and the manner in which honorable members have spoken, most of them that way. The Minister of Information Technology was scheduled to make a statement on Pegasus spyware issue. I made it clear in the BSc meeting yesterday that thereafter members may seek clarification which would have enabled them to address their concerns in the matter. Even if they are not satisfied on that, there was still scope to discuss, because I have already mentioned it, that leaders and the government, they can sit together if there are further issues and then find a way out and then get back to me. Unfortunately, the proceedings of House hit a new low with the papers being snatched from the minister and torn into pieces and thrown into the air. Such actions are in a clear assault of our parliamentary democracy. They do not cover the world's largest democracy. Please, do not cover the world's largest democracy with glory. Please, should be members of parliament be party to degrading the country's standing in the world stage? It was also agreed that BSc meeting yesterday that this August House will take up a detailed discussion on various aspects, including country's economy, at least for 4 hours. I have even suggested to the government, please, don't sit and then make comments. Please, don't test my patience. I am also a human being. I have even suggested to the government and the opposition to sit together and prioritize legislative and other agenda for the remainder of the session. Some opposition leaders have appreciated the session, but to my dismay, this things turn out to be different in the House. The turn of events in the House brings us to the question of what drives the disruption in the Parliament. It is only political grandstanding. I have stressed that on the eve of the session, Parliament is much more than a political institution, given its constitutional mandate. But there seems to be a scant respect for the constitutional sanctity of Parliament, very, very unfortunate. Honourable members, you are the custodians of our parliamentary democracy. The entire country, including state legislatures, are looking to both the Houses of Parliament for guidance. And this has been really acknowledged by one and all. The parliamentarians speak for the people and states they represent. Disrupting the House is certainly no way of doing justice for which you are all here. I fervently appeal to all sections of the House to enable smooth functioning of the House by raising above the political considerations. If at all there are many disruptions, only that will halt the march of our nation besides letting people down. Honourable members, 3 weeks from now, we will be entering the 75th year of our hard-fought independence. The spirit of its celebration should not be marred by dysfunctional Parliament. Our freedom struggle was all for the self-governance with our people as the masters. But what is being witnessed in the Parliament is to contrary. This does not resonate with the movement of 75 years of our freedom from colonial rule. As the chairman of this august House, I am deeply distressed by the course of events in the House. I expect many of you to be equally anguished. If so, we shall find a way out to the present state of affairs. We are anguished, and so are the people. Let the Parliament function smoothly and bring shine to the lives of the people. Whatever you want to say during the course of discussion, you are free to say it, but within the permitted ambit and scope of any issue or discussion. That has to be kept in mind.
Trinamool Congress MP Shantanu Sen was on Friday suspended from Rajya Sabha for the remaining part of the monsoon session. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs V. Muralidharan moved a motion seeking the suspension under Rule 256 Clause 2. The chairman put the motion to vote that was adopted. Under Rule 256 Clause 2, the chairman may name a member who disregards the authority of the chair or abuses the rules of the council by obstructing the business of the House. On Thursday, Sen had snatched and then torn the Pegasus project statement from the hands of the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, and the minister was then forced to lay his statement on the table instead of speaking in the House. A member named by the chairman is suspended for a period not exceeding the remainder of the current session and has to quit the precincts of the council.
Sir, I move that Dr. Shantanu Sen, AITC, be suspended from the services of the House for the remaining part of the current session for his unruly behavior, unbecoming of a member of Rajya Sabha yesterday, the 22nd July 2021, by snatching the copy of the statement from the Minister of Railways, Minister of Communications and Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, tearing and throwing it towards the chair, thereby bringing disrepute to this august House.
Motion moved. Those who in favor say yes. Those who will say yes, no. Yes, approved. Dr. Shantanu Sen stands suspended for remaining part of the bill. For the remaining part of the session.
Chairman Naidu also apprised members about the decisions taken in the Business Advisory Committee. The House will take up detailed discussions on various bills and statutory resolutions moved by members.
Business. I have to inform the members that the Business Advisory Committee on its meeting held on 22nd July 2021 has allotted time for government, legislative and other business as follows. Statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Insolvency Bankrupt Code number 3, 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 4th April 2021, admitted in the names of Sri Shakti Singh Gohel, Sri Ramaram Karim, Sri D.V. Sivadasan, Sri Vinay Viswam, and Sri M.V. Shreyams Kumar. Consideration passing of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill to replace Ordinance, 3 hours to be discussed together. Then, statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Commission of Air Quality Management in National Capital Region Adjoining Areas Ordinance 2021, number 4 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 13th April 2021, admitting the names of Shakti Singh Goyal, Sri Yadamaram Karim, Dr. V. Sivadasan, Sri Vinay Viswam, Sri M.V. Shreyans Kumar, and Derek Weberin. The consideration and passing of the Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Bill 2021 to replace an ordinance. 3 hours to be discussed together. The statute resolution seeking disapproval of the Essential Defence Services Ordinance 2021, number 7 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India, admitted in the names of Sri Yadamaram Karim, Sri M. Shanmugam, Dr. V. Sivadasan, Sri Vinay Viswam, and Sri M. V. Shreyans Kumar. Consideration and passing of the Essential Defence Service Bill 2021, 3 hours to be discussed together. And then the statute resolution seeking disapproval of Indian Medicines Central Council Amendment Ordinance 2021, number 5 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 22nd April 2021, admitting the names of Sri Shakti Singh Goyal, Sri Yadamaram Karim, Dr. V. Sivadasan, Vinay Viswam, and M. V. Shreyans Kumar. Consideration and passing of the Indian Medicine Central Council Amendment Bill to replace an ordinance, 2 hours to be allotted. Ministry of Parliament Affairs will inform the distribution of time between 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Statute resolution seeking disapproval of the same. Consideration and passing of the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill to replace the ordinance. Consideration and passing of the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Amendment Bill 2021 as passed by Lok Sabha, 3 hours. Consideration and passing of the Inland Vessels Bill 2021 after it's passed by Lok Sabha, 2 hours. Consideration and passing of the Coconut Development Board, 1 hour. Consideration and return of the appropriation bills relating to following demands after they are passed by Lok Sabha. Supplementary demands for grants for 2020, 21-22, demands for excess grants for 17-18, 5 hours to be discussed together. The committee also recommended that the House may sit beyond 6 p.m. and as and when necessary for the transaction of the government, legislative and other business.
Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs V. Muralidharan made a statement regarding the government business for the coming week. The government's legislative agenda for the monsoon session of Parliament includes nearly 31 bills and financial items.
Statement regarding government business and also the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to announce that government business for the week commencing Monday, the 26th of July 2021 may consist of 1. Further consideration and passing of the Marine Aids to Navigation Bill 2021 as passed by Lok Sabha. 2. Consideration and passing of the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Amendment Bill 2021 as passed by Lok Sabha. 3. Discussion on statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance 2021.
Please.
Number 3 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 4th April 2021. And consideration and passing of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2021 after it is passed by Lok Sabha. 4. Discussion on statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Ordinance 2021. Number 4 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 13th April 2021, and consideration and passing of the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Bill 2021. 5. Discussion on statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Essential Defence Services Ordinance 2021. Number 7 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 30th June 2021, and consideration and passing of the Essential Defence Services Bill 2021 after it is passed by Lok Sabha. 6. Discussion on statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Indian Medicine Central Council Amendment Ordinance 2021. That's number 5 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 22nd April 2021, and consideration and passing of the Indian Medical Central Council Amendment Bill 2021. 7. Discussion on statutory resolution seeking disapproval of the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Ordinance 2021 of 2021, number 6 of 2021, promulgated by the President of India on 16th May 2021, and consideration and passing of the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2021. 8. Consideration and passing of the Coconut Development Board Amendment Bill 2021 after its introduction. 9. Consideration and passing of the following bills after they are passed by Lok Sabha. 1. The Inland Vessels Bill 2021. 2. The Factoring Regulation Bill 2021.
Besides, reports of department-related parliamentary committees were also tabled in the Upper House on Friday.
Report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. Sri T.G. Venkatesh.
Respected Chairman, sir, I rise to present the 293rd report on status of aviation connectivity in the country, both Hindi and English versions of the Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. Thank you, sir.
Reports of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Labour. Sri Vivek Thakur.
Sir, I rise to lay the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd and 24th reports, Hindi and English versions, of the Standing Committee on Labour as listed against my name in the list of businesses.
Reports of the Committee on Welfare of Other Backward Classes. Sri Narayana Koragappa.
Sir, I rise to lay on the table 6 report of the Committee on Welfare of Other Backward Classes as listed against my name in the today's list of business. These reports were presented on Honorable Speaker under Direction 71A of the directions by the Speaker Lok Sabha on 13/6/2020 and 25/7/2020. The reports were also placed before the Honorable Chairman Rajya Sabha on 22/6/2020 and 30/7/2020 when the House was not in session. So, thank you, sir.
And the Upper House on Friday mourned the demise of former members S. Agniraj and Vijay Singh Yadav. S. Agniraj represented the state of Tamil Nadu in the Upper House from June 1998 to June 2004, while Vijay Singh Yadav represented Bihar in Rajya Sabha from April 2000 to April 2006.
Yeah, please bear with me. First, obituary reference. Honorable members, I refer with profound sorrow to the passing away of Sri Agniraj and Sri Vijay Singh Yadav, former members of this House. Sri Agniraj passed away on 22nd of November 2020 at the age of 87 years. Born in July 1933 at Kathirkundu in Madurai district of Tamil Nadu, Sri Agniraj was educated at the Madura College, Madurai. Agriculturist, Sri Agniraj was an ardent promoter of Tamil language. He served as a member of the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly from 1967 to 71. Sri Agniraj represented the state of Tamil Nadu in this House from June 1998 to June 2004. In the passing of Sri Agniraj, the country has lost a champion of the Tamil language and also an able parliamentarian. Sri Vijay Singh Yadavji passed away on the 16th of May 2021 at the age of 68 years. Born in January 1953 in Patna, Bihar, Sri Vijay Singh Yadav was educated at the B.S. College, Danapur. A social worker, Sri Yadav served as a member of the Bihar Legislative Assembly from 1996 to 2000. Sri Vijay Singh Yadav represented the state of Bihar in this House from April 2000 to April 2006. In the passing of Sri Vijay Singh Yadav, the country lost an able parliamentarian. We deeply mourn the passing of Sri Agniraj, Sri Vijay Singh Yadav. I request the members to rise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the departed.
And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.